Now, there is frustration and anger over the NEET paper leaks. Young lives and aspirations have been lost. And while there are protests and politics, we must make a genuine attempt to address the core problems in our education system and competitive exam structure. NewsX is starting an earnest mission, bringing together educationists, technologists, policymakers, the best minds from all over the world to identify these systemic issues, try and build a national dialogue to solve them, and also study best foolproof case studies from around the world. We will then put together a mission charter and push for its implementation, hoping to build the world's best exam system. Gangs cannot be allowed to defraud the honest efforts of our youth. But you can join the campaign by writing to us, tweeting to our social media handles, and sending us suggestions. Together we can. In fact, I now want to open this up for discussion. I have a slew of panelists joining me. Dr. P.S.V. Rao, Senior Doctor, is there. Ambassador Suresh Goyal is there, former diplomat. And Ashok Singh, the Director of Boardmaster Education, is joining us. Well, thanks to you all for joining me in this discussion. Let's start with Ambassador Suresh Goyal. Ambassador, protests will go on, politics will go on, but the core issue is students' demands need to be addressed. The education system needs to be fixed. The loopholes have to be plugged. What's the first step in that direction?
Thank you very much, Kirti, and thank you very much for including me in this discussion, because I was surprised when I got the call. I'm not an educationist. I'm a diplomat. I can only bring the experience of other places where I have been to. And also thank you for expanding the scope of discussion from competitive examinations to the education system, because I think that is where the issues really are, not just the competitive examination. Kirti, please give me 2 or 3 minutes really to work on this through. Number one, the issue with the competitive examination or the education system really here is the huge numbers from India who go through the system and who basically go through, I must say, a kind of a rotten education program, not in the big cities, where the schools are under guard and the schools are being watched, observed, and therefore there is an opportunity for the schools to really carry forward the best traditions in educating children. But India, the school system is mostly about villages, the district towns, where the facilities are few, but the demand is more because of the population. So we need to really first work out a kind of a system or a link between the number which goes into the education system and which actually can be employed suitably through the examination system. That link is very important, the pathway. There was one article I was reading which called it the pathway. How do we, if today you have one bit, I don't know the number really, a billion who go through the education, but the people who can be employed at the end of this is just about 10,000 in a year, or let's say 20,000. The number is huge. That is number one.
I request you to hold on to your thoughts. I want to take how we are planning to do this. Now, today we begin by identifying 6 core issues. Number 1, the exam mafia needs to be gone. These gangs full of cheats and frauds that exist within the system must be made to pay. The CBI investigation into the 2024 NEET undergrad paper leak led to the arrest of more than 30 accused, including alleged masterminds. Intermediaries, MBBS students accused of acting as solvers, candidates and facilitators. Investigators alleged the network operated across multiple states, exposing the organized nature of the examination fraud. Then number 2, test paper setting and distribution chain prone to corruption and leaks. Question papers are first prepared by experts, printed at authorized facilities, sealed with tamper-evident rackets, transported through secured logistics, stored at secured locations, and then it reaches the candidates. Now, while the scheme of the NEET exam requires involvement of multiple people, it also leads to massive leaks. Number 3, Gundagardi at exam venues. This image from 2015 from outside exam centers had gone viral. What you can see are people climbing on each other on different floors of a building where a Bihar School Education Board exam was going on. Now, this sight is not rare. Intimidation happens in multiple ways in all competitive exams in non-urban places. Then number 4, India has built one of the world's most secure and scalable digital ecosystems through UPI, processing billions of encrypted transactions every month, while bank, stock exchanges and digital identity systems operate at massive scale with high security. The challenge is whether a similar level of technological innovation can be applied to high-stakes examinations. If India can securely move money in real time for over a million or billion people, why can't it also secure a private, secure, accessible and trusted digital examination system for our students? Number 5, every year around 20 to 23 lakh students compete through NEET undergrad for approximately 1.37 lakh MBBS students, making it one of the most competitive entrance exam in the world. India has significantly expanded medical education, increasing MBBS seats from about 51,000 in 2014 to nearly 1.37 lakh today. The next phase should focus on creating more government medical colleges, expanding teaching systems, hospitals, strengthening faculty, accelerating approvals, and ensuring every new seat maintains high standards of medical education and clinical training. But that's a traditional approach. Can anything more be done? And number 6, finally, for millions of Indian students, a single high-stakes examination often determines access to higher education and career opportunities. Now, this intense dependence places enormous academic, emotional, financial pressure on students and families alike. NEET is an example of this. While we have spoken about multiple NEET exams in a year, why can't assessment pathways be diversified? Well, those are the core issues that we at NewsX are campaigning to address, to build a way for these issues to be addressed. Dr. PSV Rao, how do you assess this? What do you think should be the immediate next step in the direction of achieving these 6 core objectives or finding a solution to these issues?
On this topic, for the last few years, I have spoken multiple times on the media. I have written articles about it, and my suggestions are such. 1, why don't you sort out this supply and demand situation? There is too much demand for these NEET exam, through the NEET exam for medical and engineering and other seats. So, there has been a move towards increasing the number of medical seats, but also there is an attempt to increase the number of postgraduate seats. We also have been trying to increase the number of seats in other professions. If this has not been commensurate with the increase in the population, and this is why this demand and supply situation arises, and that needs to be sorted out. Second, why so many people trying for these professional courses? It is because the other courses are not considered good enough. The training in many of the other courses, even in things like engineering and medicine, don't train people for the actual professional life, the kind of skills they need. So we need to divert a lot of this demand for professional courses to actually skill-based courses where say like software, there is such a demand for software engineers. People wanting to become software engineers. Get these software companies to start training these people as soon as they finish schooling. What is the need for formal degrees? What is required is actually the skill. So you do that. We in hospitals are finding that even though someone may be specialized, super specialized, or whatever else, we finally have to train them on hands-on at the hospital level.
Yeah.
So we need to look into that. Many nations abroad and all over the world, the beyond a certain level, the education is in the industry. It may be the health industry, it may be the engineering industry, or any other industry, rather than by the university. So this is another aspect of it. And as to your question about how can we sort out all these leaks, yes, you mentioned the financial programs like the UPI, etc. There are other instances also, in which case you will have to have a uniform platform in which all this can be done, and the students then will have to be in the exam center entering it on a computer, and the whole thing has to be secure enough so that no one can log into it. And please improve the education so that people don't go to coaching classes. Why are people going to coaching classes?
Yeah.
People are going to coaching classes because of two reasons. One, your school education and the college education is not good enough, then they will go to the coaching classes. Then if you have the old kind of exam system, then this the coaching class trains you for the exams. It doesn't train you for employment later on. So what it does is move the demand from here to the later stage, where now once you train all these people, you pass these people, how are you going to employ them? So the employment issue comes up. That's why I say you should start skilling them like other nations do at a very early stage, rather than pushing them through this whole thing. So electronically this can be done, but I feel a lot of people should be shifted earlier itself. And that way we will have employable youth rather than people protesting on the streets because they can't get employment. So the whole thing needs a complete change, and we can learn from other nations how they are managing it. We shouldn't be having a situation where there is more number of students trying to get into professional courses than the number of seats available, and there shouldn't be a situation where eventually when they pass out they are not employable. This is a huge problem in India. We need to have people employable, so please do practical training rather than some theoretical training and then theory exams.
All
Yes.
right. All right, Dr. Rao. Mr. Singh, I want to now come to you. Dr. Rao has raised a very pertinent question here. What is the need? Why do students have to go to coaching centers? You're speaking to us as a director of board mass education. Can you answer that?
Yes, I agree with Dr. Rao. See, why system is dependent on all these things, we need to understand the root problem. Root problem is student or parent are desperate for medical seat. That is why they go for coaching. That is why they are looking for all kind of shortcuts. So what we need to fix here, and see, even we are now going forward in another 2-3 years, we will be a surplus doctor country. So try to understand, we will not feel shortage about the doctors, but we will face shortage of paramedical staffs. And currently our system, or even children, they are not aspiring to become a paramedical staff like radiologist, like OT technician, but the huge demand is there for the job. So we need to counsel student at the school level, try to tell them about the options which are available for them. Not everybody can secure a government seat, because competition is huge. We are a big country. So Dr. Rao has addressed that issue. So I will not speak much on those parts, but I will try to put in here some example. See, we need to learn from Germany. We need to learn from China also. China conducts a big exam, Gaokao. We don't conduct that kind of big exam. It's almost 1 crore student participate in Gaokao exam, and that is offline exam. So China has, uh, we can learn from that example of China how they are conducting even offline exam at this level. But see, what I'm pushing and what is good for India, we should put multiple exam system, computer-based test. Like even see in engineering now we have two JEE main exam. For NEET also we can have this kind of double exam system, computer-based system, multiple day uh, to control the leak online especially. We can have lot of software, lot of countries doing that, like some exams, GMAT exam and all, GRE exam. US is doing adaptive test. We can also go for that. Maybe after 4 5 years we can go for adaptive test. We will not require even a physical examination center. Student can log in from their home. So we need to explore technological aspect and make it foolproof. What we are doing currently here, we are relying on a lot of like logistic, conduction of paper, physical transportation of paper, setting of paper, and huge people who are desperate for seat. That is why we are facing these kind of problem. So to control the desperation of parent, we need to counsel them about other options. To control the leak, we can conduct the exam online. And yes, coaching is also a big problem because coaching is a place with lot of cash money. They can influence this kind of exam. So coaching also we need to fix. We need to fix who should go for coaching and at what level coaching can conduct all these things in India. China has also completely banned the coaching. So we need to go and learn from the different system what world has uh,
Right.
faced and what they have done the corrective measures. So
All
we
right.
can adapt those kind of system.
All right, Ambassador Goyal, I want to come to you and then wrap up the discussion. How is it, Ambassador, that UPSC has been able to build this foolproof, impenetrable system that nobody has been able to hack into, but NEET continues to be leaked time and again?
That's a very good question, Kirti. And again, I basically come to the quality of the job that we are looking for. The numbers, it's all a numbers game. I remember when I was a student, we never really went to any coaching centers, and either we studied on our own or the classroom teaching used to be really quite more than enough. Coming to the UPSC, the large scale elimination of candidates take place at the preliminary stage, which is purely an objective, and it is digital. But the student doesn't need to depend upon his own resources, his own laptop or his own computer, where the connectivity may be an issue. He comes to a center and he takes the objective paper there itself on the venue. And there is about practically 50 or 60% elimination from there, and the rest of the elimination up to around another 50-60% takes place in the written examination. And there, frankly speaking, because by the time they come to the written test, the ratio of people, the candidates appearing to the number of opportunities or the number of jobs, it has come down to basically around 20%. So the numbers are such that it is not possible, or the student or the candidates do not really find it possible to break the system into a kind of a copying system. Here for the school or the NEET or the JEE, etc., JEE, it never used to happen. But now with the coaching centers who are keen, who have to show results, and who want to basically advertise that 20% of our students have got so positions in NEET. So they need to progress, they need to show their capacities. And that is when they collude with the other people in terms of leakage of papers and the leak and the copying of the answers, really. So the whole system where education is reduced to a competitive position, competition of 1 billion people for 10,000 position opportunities is basically the culprit, and coaching centers are taking advantage of it, along with the others who are colluding in the system of copying and leaking the papers.
Right. All right. Thank you very much then to you all gentlemen for joining me in the discussion. We'll wrap it up and we take a very quick break now. Viewers, stay tuned to NewsX.